Hello, welcome to Old Nerd Unseals his hardcover comics from storage. I did a video a little bit ago unsealing some sci-fi fantasy books that I had sealed up in a box similar to this. It's been in storage for 2 years. This as well has been in storage for 2 years. We just moved into a new place, so I'm going through my stuff, getting ready to arrange it. Got some shelves from IKEA. Here's all the paperbacks that I've opened up recently, gotten free of their storage boxes. Now here's a box of hardcover comics. Let's I've already cut the tape. Let's take a peek at what's in here. It's been a long time. I don't remember exactly what we got, but let's see. Neil Gaiman, instructions. I don't remember if I read this or not. I think I mostly got it for the Charles Vess illustrations. I don't think I read this though, but it's got some gorgeous Charles Vess painted artwork in it. He's one of my favorite artists. He got big in the '80s doing some comics. He didn't do a lot of comics, but he did a Web of Spider-Man. He did some Spider-Man stuff. What did he do? He did a mini series with Neil Gaiman too. The one that they made a movie of, the fantasy. What was that called? Star. Fuck, I can't remember. Anyway, there's that. Ooh, here's an old Black Hole pop-up book. This is from probably the late 70s, maybe the early 80s. It's got the old school pop-ups, interactive kind of here. You got the wheel that you can spin, so you get the black hole effect by spinning this wheel. Old Black Hole pop-up book. Probably found that at a used bookstore someplace, or a Salvation Army, or something like that. Art of Atari, from the classic days of Atari. The games always had great artwork. They came in boxes, and the boxes had this artwork on them. And the cartridges would have a little sticker on the front with some artwork on it, but the games always came in a box with this artwork on it, and I think would come with a little manual. And that's where you'd find some of this artwork as well. So here's the box that it would have come in. A game would have come in. What else we got here? How the West Was Won. This is interesting. This is an old one. I must have found this at a secondhand store as well. You can hear the spine creaking as I open it. It looks like somebody tried to fix it with some tape. Must be the spines coming loose. Mrs. Hughes. I wonder if this was like in someone's school classroom, maybe. Mrs. Hughes was a teacher, possibly. The stars of the movie. Henry Fonda. Carolyn Jones. She's Carolyn Jones from the Addams Family. Well, this is cool. Just a picture book of the film How the West Was Won. The Prisoner. Now, I don't know how old this book is. Barnes and Noble. I guess this isn't like a vintage book. Copyright 1989. So this is probably just like a companion book to go along with the television show The Prisoner. I have The Prisoner on Blu-ray, and I've never watched it. I hear about it all the time. People talk about The Prisoner all the time, how much they love it. And I've always wanted to watch it. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. So this book is just some sort of a companion piece that must go along with the old TV show. Oh, here we go. The Enchanted Worlds of Rankin Bass, a portfolio. I'm a Rankin Bass fan. I grew up on Frosty the Snowman, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Recently discovered Mad Monster Party, and this book just covers their history, Rankin Bass's filmmaking history. And it goes through, there's still from Mad Monster Party. This book just kind of goes through their history, filmmaking history, with a few color inserts. Mostly it's in black and white though. Really nice hardcover book with a slip cover. Speaking of Charles Vess and Spider-Man, here we go. Spirits of the Earth by Charles Vess. Graphic novel, Marvel graphic novel from the 80s. Yeah, this is how I know of Charles Vess. Stardust, that's the name of the limited series, the 4-issue series that Charles Vess did with Neil Gaiman back in the 90s, I believe it was. That eventually a movie was made of about 20 years ago, maybe. But yeah, this is Charles Vess doing Spider-Man. Yeah, I always loved, he did painted artwork, and I always really loved his stuff. Here's another Marvel graphic novel, Triumph and Torment, Doctor Strange and Doctor Doom. Look at the creative team here. Roger Stern, Michael Mignola, Mark Badger. Dang. This is good stuff. Good stuff from the 80s. Early Mike Mignola, pre-Hellboy artwork. You can kind of see the beginnings of Hellboy here. His artwork style coming through. Roger Stern, one of the finest writers of the 80s and into the 90s and beyond for comic books. Here we have a Mobius book I picked up at an antique store. I think I found this. The World of Edina. So this is Mobius. Big, thick book. But Mobius, French artist. So this is a several-part series called Edina. I'm not sure. I'm not big on. I don't know a lot about Mobius, but Mobius Library. There's several books in this series. This just happens to be the one that I have. I don't think I have any others. Superboy and the Legion of Superheroes, Volume 1. Paul Levitz and Mike Grell. James Sherman. This reprints some early issues of Superboy and the Legion of Superheroes. And I believe there's a second volume of this as well. Fairly thick hardcover. This came out, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago now. Here it is, Stardust. Charles Vess. Neil Gaiman. Some of you may remember the film that came out. Like I said, about 20 years ago-ish. But this is a hardcover reprint of... Maybe this only was a hardcover. Maybe this only was like a book. I was for some reason thinking it was a comic limited series, but maybe it was only a book. Oh, here we go. Red Moon. I've got 3 Red Moons by Carlos Trio and Eduardo Risso. Eduardo Risso is one of my favorite artists. I love his artwork. But this is a 3-book set. I think these are from South America, maybe? I forget where they're from, but I believe the creators here are from South America. Carlos Trio, he wrote a lot of really cool comics. And Eduardo Risso, he's most famous in America for doing the 100 Bullets DC Vertigo series. But this is a nice hardcover set of fantasy stories by those two. Also by Carlos Trio, Zachary Holmes. This is book 2. I don't think I have book 1. But this must be like a junior Sherlock Holmes type mystery, supernatural thing. I haven't read this one, but I picked it up basically because it's Carlos Trio. Leave It to Chance. Leave it to chance. This, what have I got here? 1, 2, 3 books of Leave It to Chance. Paul Smith, James Robinson. I was a big fan of Paul Smith's artwork. His too short of a run on Uncanny X-Men back in the early 80s. But this is Leave It to Chance. What is it? It's a young girl. She has a pet dragon. And I think during Paul Smith's run on the Uncanny X-Men, that's when Kitty Pryde's little pet dragon Lockheed came about. And Chance has this pet dragon. This is Chance. This is her pet dragon, I believe. And they're like monster hunters, basically. And there's 3 volumes of that. I got this nice slipcase of the JLA Avengers by Kurt Busiek and George Perez. Compendium and the actual reprints of the stories. I forget what's in the compendium. I forget what's in that bit of it, but that's really cool, really heavy. Another graphic novel, Marvel graphic novel by Frank Miller and Lynn Varley. Elektra Lives Again, Epic Comics. Frank Miller returns to the world of Daredevil and Elektra specifically. I believe this is... Oh, no, I think that must be Matt Murdock there. But I think this focuses mostly on Elektra. Not so much Daredevil. I don't know if that's where she was brought back to life in that story. I can't remember. Beasts of the Black Hand. I picked this up at a Comic-Con in Pennsylvania, Williamsport Comic-Con, I believe it was, several years ago. This is by Ron Mars. He's the writer. And Ron Mars was a guest at the Comic-Con, and I picked this up from his table. Some promotional material that he must have handed me when I got it. But here he signed it. Ron Mars signed it. And is this a werewolf story? I forget what this is. World War II story? Supernatural story? I forget. I believe I read it, but I can't remember really exactly what it's about. The Life and Adventures of Santa Claus. I forget where I picked this up, but it's Mike Ploog artwork. He's famous for his work on Man-Thing? Was it Man-Thing he did for Marvel Comics back in the late 70s? I don't even remember where I found this book. It's got some really great Mike Ploog artwork. And I guess this is like the story of how Santa Claus came to be. From a young boy to grow up to be the Santa Claus we all know and love. Here's a couple of Twin Peaks hardcovers. Go along the secret history of Twin Peaks. The Final Dossier. Both by Mark Frost, who was a co-creator along with, what's his face? The famous director. Blanking on his name like I always do. But here we got The Nameless, Grant Morrison, Chris Brunner. This is a really good series. I think this was like a DC Vertigo series, was it? Was this DC? Image. This is from Image Comics. And I believe this was a limited series. Reprinted in this nice hardcover. This actually, speaking of Twin Peaks, this is very Twin Peaksian, this limited series. Highly recommend it. This was quite good. I can't even tell you what it's about now. I read it and I really enjoyed it. But it's about astronauts finding ancient alien artifacts on the moon, or I forget. But it was quite good. I've got this. Here's all my Tintin books. I don't think I have the whole set. Here's number 1, number 2, number 3. Here's number 4. Here's number 5. I believe there's one more. Like there might be 6, maybe even 7. But these are all nice little collections of all the Tintin material in a little hardcover. Serenity. This was the first limited series. I think this is Dark Horse. Yeah, Dark Horse Comics. So when Firefly, the TV show Firefly ended, and then the film Serenity came out, I believe this comic was published around the time that the film came out. And this is just a nice hardcover collection of that comic. And this tied in a little bit with, I think this goes between the film and the TV show, if I remember correctly. Been a long time. But I used to be a big Firefly flan. Nathan Fillion flan. Right, Jonesy? We were both flans. We started a band and we called ourselves Browncoat. And we did a whole album, a whole CD. We wrote a whole CD, a whole album worth of Firefly-themed music. And if somebody ever is curious about it, let me know. I can share those songs with you somewhere online. Here is The Shadow, The Death of Margot Lane. This is by Matt Wagner and his son Brennan Wagner. Pretty much anything Matt Wagner does, I'm a fan of. He's most famous for Grendel and Mage, but he did some Batman. He wrote the Sandman series or co-wrote the Sandman series for DC Vertigo. But I love his artwork. He's a great storyteller. He's doing a Kickstarter campaign right now. Him and Kelly Jones are doing a Dracula series, a nice big hardcover series of Dracula comics. I've been getting those on Kickstarter, and they're fantastic as well. But yeah, I love The Shadow. I love the old pulp stuff. And if Matt Wagner's involved, then I love it even more. Here's The Dark Crystal, The Creation Myth by Brian Froud. Alex Sheikman is basically the real reason that I'm a fan of this. I haven't even opened it because I have the comics of this. This is a reprint of a limited series, a comic book limited series by Archaea Press. Yeah, Archaea. But Alex Sheikman is a fantastic artist. I wish we could see more of his work, but he doesn't work real frequently, unfortunately. But yeah, this is a great series. I really enjoyed it. That's why I picked up this hardcover, and why it's not open yet, because like I said, speaking of Alex Sheikman, here is one of his, here's both of them. Here is his 2 hardcovers collecting his comic series Robotica. I think he did 2 4-issue limited series called Robotica. And this one's called For a Few Rubles More. I don't know. Is Alex Sheikman might be like Russian, maybe? But yeah, this one was called For a Few Rubles More. This is the first series, just called Robotica. This was the follow-up series. But this is his artwork. Like, holy cow. I discovered this guy, I don't know, 25 years ago on this series. Just picked it up randomly off the comic book shelf at the comic shop. And just, it's kind of like a steampunk, cyberpunk, western, samurai mashup. A little bit of Clint Eastwood for a few dollars more. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. A little bit of samurai in it. A lot of fantasy. Highly recommend checking this out. Robotica and Robotica 2. Love Alex Sheikman's stuff. Oh, here we go. Back to some Matt Wagner. This time, his doing some more an old pulp property again. The Spirit. Will Eisner's The Spirit. I don't know. I don't think he did the artwork in this though. No, he doesn't do. Matt Wagner doesn't do the artwork in this, but whoever's doing the artwork is. Well, maybe it is Matt Wagner. Is it? Dan Schade and Brennan. So Dan Schade must be doing his best. Dan Schade is the artist. So he's doing his best version of Matt Wagner. Like, it does look reminiscent of Matt Wagner's art. Plus Brennan Wagner, Matt Wagner's son, is doing the colors. But it's written by Matt Wagner. This is a good one as well. This, I believe, this was DC Comics, was it? Dynamite. The Spirit had like a DC Comics series back 20 years ago, and Matt Wagner was involved in that. I don't remember if Dynamite took over or not. And last but not least, my old copy of the Best of Marvel Comics. I believe this came out in 1987. Nice leather-bound hardcover. I think I got this for Christmas back then, in 1987. And all this is a reprint of a couple of popular stories from some of the popular titles at the time. The Fantastic Four's origin. And we've got the Hulk versus Sasquatch from Hulk Annual 8. We've got an Amazing Spider-Man story, The Kid Who Collects Spider-Man. Captain America's story from number 255, a Thor story. Doctor Strange story. And an X-Men story. An all-new adventure of the X-Men. So, yeah, this... I remember I found this maybe in like the Sears Wish book. Is that what it was called? The Christmas catalog that came out every year that was just like a big thick telephone book worth of advertisements for what they were selling that year. And it was a huge toy section. And I believe I found this book in there and begged my mom for it. And she got it for me for Christmas. So here's the original story, and it's, well, here's Wolverine. So this is an X-Men story, and this is a reprint from X-Men 180 something maybe. And then in the very end, after this X-Men story, it's a cool fight. It's a bar brawl between Colossus and the Juggernaut. But I want to say that there's, right here, The Hunter by Chris Claremont and Marshall Rogers. He's a great artist. This story was exclusive to this book, I believe. Like, you couldn't get this story anyplace else. It's probably been reprinted since, but at the time, that's what it was. So there we go. I just unboxed. It's like Christmas here. I just unboxed all these books that have been in storage for 2 years. Anything in there that you thought was cool, comment down below, please. I'd like to hear your take on it. On this channel, I also do movie reviews, Blu-ray reviews, physical media type stuff. I've got a DVD, Blu-ray, 4K collection that I'm always adding to and talking about. A little bit of book reviews, a lot of comics. I do a series on here, reading my Marvel comics in order, where I'm going through my Marvel comics collection one by one, reading them in publishing date order and doing a video on each issue. Please subscribe for that if that sounds cool. And stick around for more of this type of stuff. Please like, please share, please subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.